Hello dear students, today again we are continuing with our topic, that is chapter number 1, matter in our surrounding. Till now we have seen the interconversion of different states of matter. It may be from solid to liquid, liquid to gases, or directly from solid to gases or gases to solid. That was the process of sublimation. But one interesting thing is there. Let's suppose if this is ice, this is in solid form, and as we are continuously providing the temperature to it, we are providing heat to it, then slowly after some time what you will observe that this ice from solid form, it got converted to liquid form. You can see that water is coming out from this ice. But what is the main important or interesting thing about this? That in the interconversion of this ice from solid to liquid, the temperature of both the ice and this water is how much? That is 0 degree Celsius. But what we have done, we have provided the heat. Only by giving the temperature or giving heat, that solid can be converted into liquid. But what we have seen, that temperature of ice is also 0 degree Celsius, and when it got melted, that water is also at 0 degree Celsius. So where does that heat has gone, which was utilized in conversion of ice into water? Yes, my dear friends. So we are getting a new definition, that is of latent heat. It is the amount of heat energy which is required to convert 1 kg of solid into liquid at normal pressure or at constant pressure. So what is latent heat? That is the amount of heat energy required to convert 1 kg of solid into liquid at constant pressure. Now, the latent heat of fusion, as in my previous lecture, I have already told you the definition of fusion. That is the process in which solid converts to liquid, and that conversion of solid into liquid is known as fusion or melting. So the amount of heat energy which is required to convert that ice into water, that solid into liquid, is known as the latent heat of fusion. It cannot be seen, it cannot be estimated. Now the next thing is latent heat of vaporization. Now again the same thing. As we are continuously providing heat to water, and we all know there will be a certain temperature, there will be a particular temperature when that water will start to get evaporated or get converted into water vapors. So at that particular time, when we are observing that water is boiling, water starts boiling at 100 degrees Celsius. As soon as that water converts into water vapor in gaseous form, again if we are measuring the temperature, at that time the temperature of that vapor is also 100 degree Celsius. Again the same confusion, same interesting fact is there with us, that where does that heat has gone? The water was boiling or in liquid state at 100 degrees Celsius. But when it was converted to water vapor, again the measuring temperature is 100 degrees Celsius. So where does that heat has gone, which was helped the water to get converted into vapors? So that is also known as the latent heat of vaporization. Latent heat or hidden heat. For fusion, that is for melting, conversion of solid into liquid. Vaporization, that means from boiling water to vapors. Now Here in our books we will get to most important question, and those questions are that suppose out of this ice and cold water which are having both or which are having same temperature 0 degree Celsius, it is also having the 0 degree Celsius. So which one will be more effective? So the reason you can easily understand that ice will be more effective because of latent heat of fusion. When we are having one cold drink in which we are putting the ice cubes, the heat energy from that cold drink will first break the bonds in that ice and then convert into liquid. But if we are pouring the cold water in cold drink, then already the bonds are broken. So it doesn't require that much of heat energy and it will not cool our cold drink at a larger level. So due to latent heat of fusion, the ice will be more effective. Now one more question. In our NCERT book or in our book we will be having that question is hot water and vapor or the burns which are caused due to steam is more severe. If we are just touching our hand with the hot water, it may cause some harm. But if we are getting harm by steam or vapors, that will be more severe. Fine. Again the reason is same, that water is at 100 degrees Celsius, that was in liquid form. But when it is getting the heat energy, extra amount of heat energy, it got converted to the steam, and that heat energy is known as latent heat of vaporization. So ice will be more effective than the chilled water because of latent heat of fusion. Then steam will cause more severe harm to our body because of latent heat of vaporization. As we have seen that continuously I am using one term, that is boiling and evaporation. So what is the difference between boiling and evaporation? Boiling is a bulk phenomenon. That means the boiling will take place in the whole vessel or the container in which we are heating the water. But evaporation, as we can see, it is a surface phenomena. Directly from the surface it will get evaporated. It will not harm to anything. Boiling will take place at a particular temperature which is known as boiling point, and boiling point of water is 100 degrees Celsius. But when we are talking about evaporation, it can happen at any temperature. There is no specific temperature for evaporation. Now when we are talking about boiling, it will never cause any kind of coolness or any kind of cooling effect. But evaporation will always cause a cooling effect. So what are the three major differences between the boiling and evaporation? Boiling, bulk phenomena. Evaporation is surface phenomena. Boiling takes place at a particular temperature called boiling point. Evaporation can take place at any temperature. Boiling never causes cooling and evaporation causes cooling. Now we have seen many of the examples in our daily life related to evaporation, as when we are moving on a track, we are running on a track, then after some time we get sweat, like you can easily see on my face. So what does this sweat causes in our body? The sweat comes out at the surface of my skin. It will take heat energy from my body and that sweat will get evaporated. When that sweat is taking heat energy from my body temperature will lower down and that evaporation will cause cooling effect. During summer time we have seen, in the evening or during the daytime, we are sprinkling water on the roof surface. Then as soon as we are sprinkling water, the water is taking heat from the roof surface and that water gets evaporated and that roof get cooled. or reduces the temperature. When we put some acetone or any kind of alcohol on our hand, it just get evaporated after some time, but we feel cool. Why? Because of evaporation. It will take the heat energy from our surrounding and it will get evaporated and it will cause cooling in our hand. Now, what are the factors which can affect the evaporation? So there are 4 factors which can affect the process of evaporation. The first one is temperature. If we are increasing the temperature, then automatically more will be the evaporation. Secondly, the wind speed. As we have seen, if the wind are moving with a fast speed, then more evaporation will be there. The clothes will dry up very quickly. Then surface area. As we have taken one example, that suppose if we are washing the clothes and we are squeezing that cloth, and that squeezed cloth we are putting it over the rope. After some time, mother will come, she will take that particular cloth, she will open it, she will just give a jerk on it. When she is increasing the surface area, that time that cloth will dry up very fast. If we are increasing the surface area, evaporation or rate of evaporation will also be increased. But only one thing is there. If we are increasing the humidity, now in lower classes we have already understood that what is the meaning of humidity. It is the amount of water vapor which are present in the atmosphere. During rainy season we have seen our clothes doesn't dry up very quickly. Why? Because atmosphere is already having moisture. It is already having large amount of water vapors, and it does not allow or provide space for those water vapors from our clothes. So most important thing which you need to know, that what are the factors which are affecting evaporation. First, temperature. Second is wind speed. Third is surface area, and fourth one is humidity. If we are increasing the temperature, evaporation will increase. Wind speed will also increase. Surface area, if we are increasing the surface area, it will increase the rate of evaporation. But only humidity is there which will increase and it will reduce the rate of evaporation. Now for today, or as we have completed the chapter number 1 today, and I hope you have already solved the questions which were given in the first part. So today the homework question for the second part. Question number 1. Define latent heat. Define latent heat of fusion. Define latent heat of vaporization. Write a difference between boiling and evaporation. What are the factors affecting evaporation? Explain giving examples. That's all for the chapter number 1, matter in our surrounding.